Did you hear about the Stampede of Jews?
Oh, vaguely, yeah, in like a stadium or something.
No, it's a street festival, I think. I've got quite a few notes on it. I don't know whether that's the right way of phrasing it. It's so surreal to me that again, more people are dying by stampede. But apparently it's, what's that football crowd death crush? Hillsborough. Hillsborough, the Hillsborough massacre, I think it was called, right?
Yeah,
I think it's, but they're trying to, they think it might be the same kind of deal where it's like a large group of people and it hasn't been managed properly with the gates and people have died because, it was mismanaged. But then you obviously go, yeah, but people crushed you to death, right? They stamped on your face, and you go like, yeah, but you have to assume people are going to do that. So you have to make ways to make sure people don't get clogged up.
From what little I read, it said it was almost like an avalanche of people. Like it was like a very narrow kind of corridor, kind of stairway kind of thing, but outside. And a couple of people fell, and it tripped the people in front and over and over and over, and yeah.
I think it was apparently it was outside, I think. And there was like a ramp and it was raining, so the ramp got wet. Then, some people fell. And then just the crowds are so... as much as you can say you should stop if you see something, when there's a crowd of people moving, there's not much you can do. But Stampede of... I'll read it so I get the articles... terminology, right? They started doing the funerals for the victims of the Stampede. 45 people were crushed to death during the Lag Boma event over the slopes of Mount Meron, where annual commemorations including all-night prayers, singing and dancing. I hope they weren't danced on to death in the Stampede. Devastated families have been identifying their loved ones and burying them ahead of the Jewish Sabbath that began on Friday evening. Children were amongst those who were killed, which sucks. I've got to turn off this notification. Witnesses spoke of seeing a pyramid of people being asphyxiated or trampled in a passageway around 3 meters wide. So 3 meters wide, that's not too wide. It feels like longer than an average small corridor, but it's a load of people. Yeah. Crowds of ultra-Orthodox Jews packed the pilgrimage site despite warnings to maintain social distancing. And the Stampede was at 1 a.m. on a Friday. So people were... like early hours, but then I guess I think they said it was all night prayer and dancing, right? So it's probably a late night festival event anyway.
Right.
And then they were kind of leaving. Avigdor Hayut, who survived the Stampede, described slipping on the ramp and getting trapped in a crowd with his 2 sons. My son screamed, "I'm dying," he told Plivi police station Cannes. It just it's not funny that a kid was screaming he was dying, but it's just funny that this guy's like, I need to tell the news. Yeah, my son was screaming, "I'm dying." I mean, a policeman tried to pull him and his younger son out of the crowd, but couldn't move them. The policeman then threw up and started crying.
Threw up? That's what you want from a police officer.
Well, I mean, he is watching...
What's going on?
And crying. And trying to save a child who he's witnessing getting crushed to death.
Yeah.
So it's like... The guy's looking for his kid, can't see his kid, but you can see a policeman trying to save his kid, and the policeman's just not having a great time.
No, just vomits, crying everywhere.
Yeah, the policeman threw up, started crying, and I understood what he was looking at, what I couldn't see. Mr. Hayut himself suffered a broken ankle and broken ribs. I thought this was the end, he said, adding that he began to pray and simply waited. So, just accepting their own fate.
Rough.
It's rough. Hours later, in hospital with 10-year-old Shmuel, they learned that his other son, Yedidia, had died. Let me just try and figure out the correct pronunciation of this name. Never mind, he's dead. Witnesses complained that police barricades prevented people from exiting properly. I'm so sorry for the people involved, but it's very strange that. It's sad that in this day and age. I mean, when was the Hillsborough Massacre? Right, it was like 70s, 80s, or something. Right? Early 90s.
Early 90s, maybe late 80s. But
so like 20 years ago, something like that.
30 years at this point, isn't it?
Well, no, if it was early 90s, it would have been like But yeah, yes, it's like 20, 30 years ago. It feels like it feels like not too much in the history books. You go like, it shouldn't have happened then, but it really shouldn't have happened now, especially when there's social distancing. How likely are you to die in a stampede during a social distance time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think Israel, where it happened, I think they lifted regulations like shortly before the festival or something like that.
Yeah, you're not gonna. There's not going to be any kind of global sort of medical information, medical thing from scientists in the West that's going to tell Israel how to celebrate like their sacred religious holidays. Like, it's just not going to happen.
They did cancel it last year because of pandemic stuff.
Oh, did they?
So like, yeah, I believe, from memory, I believe, it was like it changed or something like that because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just crazy that the officers who were there couldn't care less, said Velvel Brevda, a rabbi who witnessed the stampede. Well, one was vomiting and crying, so I think he cared a little bit. He blamed the government for the deaths of beautiful holy Jews that were killed there for no reason whatsoever. The Justice Ministry said investigators will look into whether there had been any police misconduct, which I think is organising of the thing.
The government's fault?
Well, if you're going to have a public event, I think the government and the police are responsible for keeping it safe.
Right.
Like street barricades, right?
Right. So maybe like the local government, like we would blame like the council if it's like a town thing.
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I guess the police presence needed to be organised.
Yeah, I mean,
with the barricades.
I mean, I guess if it's just like, if it happened at like some kind, I don't know, football, but some kind of cup final or something at Wembley and some shit went down, like you wouldn't blame Boris Johnson.
No. But I think you would blame the police. I think that's weird. They did blame the police for it. I'm not sure whether they blamed the local police. They probably police as a whole.
Yeah.
But
the new crime commissioner.
Start. Yeah, the super commissioner, whatever he is. But yeah, death by stampede. It's fucking insane. Especially like what was the term? Ultra-Orthodox Jews. I don't know much. I know obviously there's loads of stereotypes about, but I don't know that much about the culture. Yeah. But it doesn't feel like the most violent of crowds. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like stereotypically, they don't feel like the most violent. So stamping children to death is pretty intense.
Yeah. Stampedes. So,
yes. I mean, not the most eager. Maybe they're really eager people. I don't know.
Maybe.
They really want to get to the front of the crew. It's cute. I don't know.
Sad in The Lion King. Sad in real life.
Just what's his dad called? Simba's dad? I can't remember.
Mufasa.
Oh yeah, Mufasa, but with like ultra-Orthodox sideburns and I don't know all the terms, but like there's a scarf that's stereotypical with rabbis.
It's just gonna get more offensive if I try and.
Yeah, there was going to be a Holocaust joke in there about something about cramped living conditions, but I thought let's not do it. No, but yeah, it sounds crazy to people that died at Stampede, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was in a Black Friday sale. You know what I mean? If people died in a stampede in a supermarket during a Black Friday sale, I'd be like, well, yeah, those people are stupid.
Happens a lot.
Yeah, you go like, oh, fair enough. But the fact that it was during religious festival, what was it called? A religious event, the Lag Boma event, by stereotypically quite passive people, feels quite intense. So we'll see what happens with that. That'll be a weird clip. In other news, 2 men have been rescued unharmed after becoming trapped 800 metres underground in a disused mine near Barnard Castle. Oh. Peter King from the Cumbrian Ore Mines Rescue Unit of the British Cave Rescue Council.
Yes.
Lots of committees here. Said that people should think twice before attempting to explore underground mines. Yeah. And this again ties into growing up, right? As a kid, I probably would have explored underground an 800-mile mine. 800 meters must be.
800 metres down, is it?
Gone down to an underground mine at the core of the earth.
Yeah. Oh, it's just pretty cool.
Yeah, that's all right. Oh, I'm trapped. But yeah, as a kid, I'd probably be. I was trying to figure out why these people were down there. was like, why are you doing it? And then you go like, well, okay, it just feels like people are just pissing about and exploring. I probably did exactly the same when I was a kid. Been like, fucking up with buildings and stuff like that. So when I was watching stealth camping, I saw a video of like people just destroying buildings with their bare hands by like chipping away at them with rocks, like abandoned buildings. I was like, I probably did that when I was a kid. Like some level of vandalism. I can understand the youthful idea of, I'm so bored, let's just keep going down this mine.
Yeah.
Getting trapped. I just, as an adult, now as a 33-year-old or whatever, I'm just like, I'm done with mines for now, I think. Just chill out, find a good spot and chill, That's all that article was. I find it funny, there's a British Cave Rescue Council. Council of who we should rescue. Should we rescue them?
Council, like but like not a traditional council, almost like a council of elders in hoods with candlelight.
Yeah, should we rescue Derek and Gary? Nah, you're right.
Let's slaughter a goat.